Hi all, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about hazard and disaster management for tidal waves. A hazard can be defined as a potentially damaging physical event, social and economic disruption, or environmental degradation. And a tsunami is a wave train or series of waves generated in a body of water by an impulsive disturbance that vertically displaces the water column. Earthquakes, landslides, volcanic eruptions, and even the impact of cosmic bodies such as meteorites can generate tsunamis. Coastal protection strategies. First of all, hard engineering strategies, building or creating something which will interfere with coastal processes, usually to reduce the power of breaking waves against cliffs. For example, groins, gabions, rock armor, and sea dike, seawall, breakwater, and all. The first one is groins, a barrier extending from the beach or offshore into the sea in the transverse direction to the seashore, and they are used to reduce the loss of beach grade sediment through longshore drift. With a proper groin field design, beach erosions can be reduced due to trapped sediments on the updrift side of the groin, and they can be constructed out of wood, stone, or concrete depending on the size of native beach material. Next, gabions. Wire gates filled with stones or rocks stacked along the cliff base to protect the shore. The next is rock armor. Huge blocks of rocks is placed along the shore. And the advantages are popular option in recent years seem to be effective, and it's cheaper than seaweed. And also it have disadvantages, not very attractive and not easy for people to get over to get to the beach. Next is sea deck, large land-based slope structures used to prevent overtopping during high tide and storm events. Instead of providing protection against wave action, sea decks fix the land sea boundary in place to prevent inland flooding. And they are typically created out of sand, clay, or mud, often incorporating a grass cover layer. Next, revetments. Onshore slope structures used to reduce the landward migration of the beach due to coastal erosion. The structure reduces the water energy and thus reduces the erosive power of the wave. They can be constructed out of the concrete, stone. The structure should be designed to have a crest sufficiently high to stop wave overtopping during a storm event. Next, breakwater. These are offshore slope or vertical structure reducing incoming wave energy arriving at the coastline as well as reducing erosion. This also creates calmer water for harbors and shipping. They can be constructed out of concrete or stone and also rock. Next, seawall. Vertical or near vertical structure designed to limit erosion due to wave attack. Typical construction materials include concrete, steel, and timber. Advantages include provides hard face to cliff and easily installed, and also cheaper than and deflect wave power. And the disadvantages include not very attractive, needs frequent repair. Next, soft engineering strategies. It is a natural process of sea and sand, for example, beach, offshore reef. Advantages include provides inshore area of calm water, effective at preventing the cause of cliff erosion. And the disadvantages is very expensive and damages fish nets and also need openings for fishing boats to get to sea. Next, natural hazards in the coastal states in India. The following hazards are seen to occur in the coastal areas: earthquake, cyclonic wind, storm surge in cyclones, flooding by incessant rain, Flooding by incessant rain also one of the hazard seen to occur in the coastal area. Next, approach toward multi-hazard safety measures in coastal area. The general measures adopting integrated multi-hazard approach with emphasis on cyclone and tsunami risk mitigation in coastal areas and implementation of early warning system for cyclones and tsunami and design practice and implementation of evacuation plans with emphasis on self-reliance for sustenance with the locals. Next, emphasis on mental health and socio-psychological issues during post-disaster period should be accorded in every plan, and identification and strengthening of existing academic centers in order to improve disaster prevention, reduction, and mitigation capabilities, and training of all concerned, including community and public awareness programs, and enhancing capabilities of the institutes working in field of disaster mitigation and management. Specific measures for safety from tsunami or storm surge. Structural measures are construction of cyclone shelter and plantation of mangroves and coastal forest along the coastline. And the next is development of a network of local knowledge centers, urban or rural, along the coastline to provide necessary training and emergency communication during the crisis time. And the next is construction of location specific seawall, development of well designed breakwater along the coast to provide necessary cushion against cyclone and tsunami hazard. And the next is development of tsunami detection, forecasting, and warning dissemination centers. And also identification of vulnerable structures and appropriate retrofitting for tsunami or cyclone resistance or for such buildings, as well as appropriate planning, designing, and construction of new facilities like public building and private houses, all marine structures, and all other infrastructure facilities located in the coastal area, and also construction and maintenance of national and state highways and other coastal roads, and also the development of a bioshield, a narrow strip of land along coastline, permanent structures, if any, in this zone with strict implementation of suggested norms. Bioshield can be developed as coastal zone disaster management sanctuary, which must have thick plantation and public spaces for public awareness and dissemination and demonstration.